LaMelo Ball is in the conversation for being the first pick in the NBA draft.
The NBA has changed a lot over the decades in terms of rules and beliefs as to who should be able to play in the league. One of these rules is the one and done rule that states a prospect must go to college for at least 1 year, and only after playing basketball there can they go into the NBA draft. So players, usually around the age of 19, are when they get into the league, if they are lucky. However, there are some who have skirted that age line in one form or another, so allow us to show you the 10 youngest NBA players in history. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 10, CJ Miles, 18 years and 241 days. We are going to kick this off with the oldest player on this list in terms of when they entered the NBA, CJ Miles, a man who is actually still playing in the league. Miles attended Skyline High School for Architecture in Dallas, where he was named to the Parade All-American First Team. He averaged 23.2 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 3.3 assists as a junior, and 23.5 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.8 assists as a senior. Miles led Skyline to the Class 5A Region 2 quarterfinals as a senior and was named All-Dallas Area Player of the Year by the Dallas Morning News. He was also named a 2005 McDonald's High School All-American. Skyline retired his number 34 jersey, making him only the second player in school history to receive the honor, joining former NBA star Larry Johnson. He was drafted by the Utah Jazz in 2005 and has been a constant presence in the NBA, including being with the Cavaliers, the Pacers, the Raptors, the Grizzlies, and currently the Washington Wizards, though he was waived earlier in the NBA season. Still, going from 2005 to 2020 and still being able to play is a feat that many have not been able to do. So while young when he went into the league, he lasted. Number 9, Andris Biedrins, 18 years and 217 days. Moving on, another way to get in the NBA at a young age is to play internationally, like what Andris Biedrins did. Biedrins' professional career started at the Latvian team, BK Shanto, in the 2002-2003 season when he joined at age 16. He soon established himself as an impact player, appearing in 41 LBL games, averaging 2.9 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 1.32 blocks, while shooting 59.8% from the field. For his feats, he was named Latvian League Newcomer of the Year. In 11 games for the FIBA European League 2003-2004, he averaged 18.6 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 1.82 blocks. In his second year, Biedrins appeared in 28 LBL games, averaging 18 points, 8.9 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1.86 blocks, while shooting 61.5% from the field. After that season, Biedrins made himself eligible for the 2004 NBA Draft. He struggled initially, but after a coaching change, he was put in the center position and had a breakout couple of seasons. But injuries and more eventually relegated him to limited playing time, and he was out of the league by 2014. Number 8, Yaroslav Korolev, 18 years and 181 days. Yaroslav Korolev is in many ways a sign of what happens when you're good overseas, and yet not good enough when you come to join the NBA. Korolev began his pro career with the Russian club, Avtodor Saratov. Korolev was then selected 12th overall in the 2005 NBA draft by the Los Angeles Clippers. Korolev played for CSKA Moscow in the Russian Super League before joining the Clippers. On July 6, 2007, the Clippers offered Korolev a contract to remain with the team, but then rescinded the offer in September of 2007. He then returned to the Clippers during the preseason on a non-guaranteed contract, but was waived before the season began. Yep, he was on the team for only 2 years before it all fell apart. After that, he went and rejoined the international basketball scene and bounced around between various teams before he finally stopped playing in 2016. Number 7, Tracy McGrady, 18 years and 160 days. You might have thought that only international and certain lucky kids were going to be on this list, but there are a few legends as well, and one of them is Tracy McGrady. McGrady entered the NBA straight out of high school, hence his age, and was selected as the 9th overall pick by the Toronto Raptors in the 1997 NBA Draft. Now, beginning his career as a low-minute player, he gradually improved his role with the team, eventually forming an exciting duo with his cousin Vince Carter. In 2000, he left the Raptors for the Orlando Magic, where he became one of the league's most prolific scorers and a candidate for the NBA Most Valuable Player award. In 2004, he was traded to the Houston Rockets, where he paired with center Yao Ming to help the Rockets become a perennial playoff team. His final seasons in the NBA were plagued by injuries, and he retired in 2013. He never got a chance at the NBA title, sadly, but he did make up for it in other ways and is still beloved to this day. Number 6, Bill Willoughby, 18 years and 156 days. Here is an interesting story for you because Bill was a man who went to the NBA right out of high school and now teaches kids to not do that. Nicknamed Poodle, he was a journeyman who played for 6 different NBA teams in 8 years before his career ended with the New Jersey Nets in 1984 at the age of 26. Willoughby was tremendously athletic, having a 47-inch vertical leap. He had played center throughout his high school career and was forced to play forward in the pros. Willoughby gained some brief fame in the 1981 NBA postseason while with the Houston Rockets by becoming one of the few players ever to block Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook at its apex. Despite his career, he regretted not going to college, but at age 44, he did get his degree, funded by the NBA no less. And now Willoughby is a special advisor to the NBA, who counsels high school players considering forsaking college basketball for the NBA, which is something that is much more prominent today than you might think, despite the rules that are against it. Number 5, Stan Brown, 18 years, 139 days. Stan Brown played basketball with the Philadelphia Warriors for 2 seasons, 1947 to 1948 and 1951 to 1952. He was the player who held the record for the youngest players ever to play in the NBA for about 48 years before the next entry on our list took the crown. He averaged less than 3 points per game, which is why he didn't last long, and now you can see why so many people want young kids to go to college before the NBA, because if your skills don't translate, you are not going to last. Number 4, Darko Milicic, 18 years and 133 days. Yeah, this one is a special case because Darko Milicic was believed to be the next great NBA star. He was drafted right after LeBron James and ahead of Carmelo Anthony and Chris Bosh. But as we would find out, his skills really didn't translate, and despite all the hype for him, he barely did any good in the NBA. He only has a ring because he was on the Detroit Pistons team that won in 2004. He barely had court time for that team. Now, he is considered one of the biggest draft busts in NBA history, and a reminder of what happens when the hype doesn't match what's shown. Unlike number 3, Kobe Bryant, 18 years and 72 days. Surprise! You forgot about this one, didn't you? But it's true. Kobe was in the league early in his life because he did international play like his father before him instead of doing college, and that move paid off. His career numbers speak for themselves. 20 seasons in the league, 5 NBA titles, an MVP trophy, 2-time Finals MVP, and a Hall of Famer. The worst thing is that while he did enter the league young, he also died young. Number 2, Jermaine O'Neal, 18 years and 53 days. Ironically, Jermaine O'Neal was in the NBA draft alongside Kobe Bryant. Ironic how that works out, huh? And while not as good as Kobe, he did have a solid career amongst many teams. He was voted an NBA All-Star 6 times, made the All-NBA teams 3 times, and was voted the NBA Most Improved Player in the 2001-2002 season. That is nothing to scoff at, as many, including others on this list, didn't even get to that level. Number 1, Andrew Bynum, 18 years and 6 days. Bet you forgot this one too, huh? It's true though, he played in the NBA just days after turning 18. His career though is honestly, well, it's divided, because he was drafted by the Lakers in 2005 and played 7 seasons with them, being a dominant big man in the process and helping Kobe Bryant get his final 2 rings. But after leaving the Lakers in a major trade that backfired for both sides, Bynum found himself riddled with injuries, and eventually he left the league a shell of his former dominant self. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various NBA players who have gone and entered the NBA when they were about 18 years old? Did any of these names surprise you? Did you forget that certain NBA legends were indeed barely over 18 when they entered the league? What are your personal thoughts on the one and done rule? And how young can you be before entering the NBA? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.